The Earth had long been marked on galactic maps as a protected zone, a place where humans lived unaware of the vast universe beyond their skies. For centuries, alien watchers kept silent vigil, monitoring humans but never interfering. They believed humans were slow, fragile, and easily controlled. But something was changing, faster than anyone expected. In the dark reaches of space, near Earth's orbit, a silent fleet of alien ships hovered. The commanders aboard these vessels exchanged anxious glances. Their old rules, their strict quarantine orders, were failing. Humans were evolving too quickly. What once seemed a simple, primitive species was becoming something else, something dangerous. On Earth, in a quiet research facility hidden deep underground, Dr. Maya Lorne stared at her screen in disbelief. The data was clear. Humans were developing abilities that no one could explain. Intelligence was increasing, senses sharpening, bodies growing stronger. It was as if evolution had been accelerated by some unknown force. Her fingers trembled as she traced the patterns in the data, trying to understand what had triggered this sudden surge. Months earlier, during an excavation in a remote desert, Maya's team had found an ancient artifact buried beneath the earth. It was a strange object, unlike anything they had seen before. Smooth, glowing faintly with colors that shifted like liquid light. When touched, the artifact emitted a low hum, almost like a heartbeat. Scientists worldwide had dismissed it as a relic, but Maya suspected it was more. It seemed to pulse with power, somehow connected to the strange changes in humanity. Back in space, the Galactic Council held a secret meeting. The highest authorities of several alien races gathered in a massive chamber, its walls shimmering with holographic images of Earth. The council was divided. Some argued for immediate destruction, fearing what humans could become. Others urged caution, suggesting containment or observation. But the truth was clear. The quarantine was broken. Maya's phone beeped urgently. A message from an unknown source appeared. The artifact is not what you think. It is a key. Be careful. She felt a chill run down her spine. Who could be sending such a warning? Was there someone else watching her? Days passed, and strange events unfolded. People all over the world reported unusual sensations, a sudden clarity of thought, bursts of energy, even unexplained visions. Governments were confused, unable to control the growing unrest. Whispers of the next step spread through social media, but nobody knew what it truly meant. In the shadows of space, the alien fleet moved closer to Earth. Their weapons were ready, their minds filled with fear and anger. They had failed to keep humans contained. Now, they would decide the planet's fate. On Earth, Maya felt the weight of her discovery pressing down on her. The artifact in her hand seemed alive, its glow intensifying as if urging her to act. She realized this was no ordinary find. This was a beginning, a signal that the old universe was changing. As the first alien warships appeared above Earth's atmosphere, massive and dark against the stars, panic spread worldwide. People looked up, their eyes wide with fear and wonder. The quarantine was over. The reckoning had begun. Maya stood on the rooftop, the artifact clasped tightly. Around her, the city buzzed with confusion and dread. But inside her, a spark of something new flickered. Hope, determination, and an unshakable will to survive. The battle for Earth was about to start, and no one knew who would emerge victorious. The changes in humans spread quickly and quietly. Like a rising tide no one could stop. People from all corners of the Earth began to notice something was different. A child who once struggled to read suddenly solved complex math problems with ease. A factory worker found strength to lift heavy machinery without strain. Others whispered of hearing thoughts or seeing events before they happened. These new abilities startled the world, sparking fear and awe at the same time. In the heart of the city, Dr. Maya Lorne worked tirelessly. She had gathered a small, secret team of trusted scientists who believed in the strange power of the artifact. They met in a hidden lab, far from the eyes of governments and alien watchers. The team studied every detail, scanning the artifact's surface, analyzing its energy patterns, and testing its effects on human cells. The artifact seemed to awaken something deep within human DNA, unlocking potential that had been dormant for millennia. Maya's eyes burned with determination. She knew this was humanity's moment to rise. But the danger was growing too. The alien fleet still lingered in the skies, waiting for the right moment to strike. The artifact was the key, but to what door? She had to find out before the aliens made their move. The world outside the lab grew restless. News spread of people with extraordinary powers, some using them to help, others losing control. Governments scrambled to control the chaos, while secret agencies hunted down those who showed signs of change. Fear of the unknown gripped the masses. One night, as Maya reviewed data on her screen, the building's power flickered. Shadows moved swiftly through the hallways. She sensed something was wrong, something dangerous. Outside, under the cover of darkness, alien assassins had landed on Earth. Their mission was clear: sabotage the research, destroy the artifact, and stop human evolution at any cost. Maya's team prepared for the worst. Alarms blared, lights flashed, but the assassins were skilled, moving like ghosts. A fierce battle broke out within the hidden lab. Scientists fought for survival, desperate to protect the future of humanity. In the chaos, Maya held the artifact tightly. Its light pulsed stronger, as if responding to threat. She realized that this was more than a fight for survival. It was a test of humanity's spirit and strength. Just as the assassins closed in, the artifact unleashed a burst of energy, pushing them back. But the cost was high. Equipment was destroyed, and some of Maya's allies were lost. The attack was only the beginning. Outside, the world watched, unaware of the war unfolding beneath their feet. The alien invasion was no longer a distant threat. It was here, and the battle for Earth's future had entered a dangerous new phase. Maya knew one thing for sure. She could not fight this war alone. The awakening of humanity was just starting, and the choices they made now would echo across the galaxy forever. The world was changing fast. Human powers grew every day, but not everyone welcomed this new dawn. Far beyond Earth, in the shadows of alien worlds, leaders feared the rising humans. They saw the evolution as a threat to their control. The alien empire that once protected Earth now wanted to stop its progress. They planned to control the planet by any means necessary. Deep inside the human governments, strange things began to happen. Important decisions, once made for good of the people, now seemed strange and confusing. Plans were delayed, promises broken, and progress slowed. It was as if a hidden hand was guiding these choices. Alien agents had quietly entered human governments and secret organizations. They wore human faces but served their alien masters. These agents were skilled in deception. They whispered in the ears of leaders, planting doubts and fears. They twisted information to create division among the people. They worked to halt human advancement, especially the studies around the ancient artifact and the new powers awakening in humans. Their goal was clear: stop humanity before it became too strong. But not all aliens agreed with this plan. In the dark corners of the Empire, some factions secretly watched Earth with hope. They saw the courage in humans and their potential for greatness. These aliens sympathized with the human struggle for freedom and growth. Quietly, they sent messages in aid to the humans who fought to unlock their true power. In hidden meetings, Maya and her team received strange help. Untraceable data leaks, equipment that worked perfectly against alien technology, and warnings of dangers before they appeared. It was the secret allies who risked everything to help the humans stand tall. Maya trusted their help, but knew it came with great risk. Tensions grew as the alien agents within human governments worked harder to suppress the truth. They spread lies about the artifact and those who possessed new powers. Fear spread like wildfire among the people. Many started to doubt the scientists and leaders who spoke of hope and change. In the shadows, the alien empire prepared its next move. They had already sent assassins to sabotage the research, and now they aimed to destroy trust among humans themselves. Their plan was to create chaos, confusion, and fear, the perfect tools to regain control. One of the humans who seemed most trusted in the government was secretly a double agent. He appeared strong and loyal, speaking often protecting Earth's future. But behind closed doors, he whispered secrets to the alien empire. He sabotaged plans, leaked information, and worked to break the rebellion before it could rise. The moment came when his true loyalty was exposed. A brave whistleblower found evidence hidden in the deepest files. The world was shocked. A leader they believed in was a traitor working for the alien empire. His betrayal shook the foundations of the human resistance. This revelation split the people. Some felt hopeless and betrayed. Others grew angrier and more determined. Maya knew that trust was fragile now more than ever. She called her team to action, reminding them that their fight was not just against the aliens outside, but also the enemies within. The alien empire tightened its grip, but the human spirit did not break. They began to uncover more agents hiding in plain sight, exposing lies and fighting back. Secret messages spread to networks, calling for unity and resistance. The rebel factions, both human and alien sympathizers, started to organize. They knew the road ahead was dangerous. They prepared for a war of shadows and secrets, where every move could mean life or death. Maya stood firm in the eye of the storm. The artifact pulsed with power in her hands, a symbol of hope and strength. The battle for Earth's soul was not over. It was just beginning. In the darkness, the double agent watched and waited. He knew the humans were stronger than before, but he believed the Empire's control would win in the end. The war for Earth was a game of shadows, and no one was safe. The days after betrayal were dark and uncertain. Maya felt the weight of the world on her shoulders. The alien Empire's grip on Earth was tightening, and their agents moved like shadows in every corner. But surrender was never an option for her. She gathered a few trusted scientists, soldiers, and ordinary people who still believed in a free Earth. Together, they would form the resistance. In a hidden base beneath the ruins of an old city, the resistance began to take shape. It was not just a group of fighters, but a new hope for humanity. They worked day and night, sharing ideas, creating plans, and building weapons unlike any the world had seen before. These weapons were not just made of steel and circuits. They were hybrids, blending human ingenuity with alien technology. Maya studied the alien artifact closely. It was a key to unlocking new possibilities. The artifact hummed with energy, and the more they understood it, the stronger the resistance grew. Scientists combined the alien power sources with human engineering, creating devices that could jam enemy signals, protect against alien weapons, and even amplify the strange powers some humans had started to develop. Training camps sprang up in secret locations across the globe. People from all walks of life joined the cause: scientists, soldiers, hackers, even everyday citizens who had nothing left to lose. The resistance was no longer a whisper in the dark. It was a growing force ready to fight for survival. Maya led many missions herself, striking quickly at alien outposts and sabotage squads. Each victory, no matter how small, sent a powerful message to the Empire. Earth would not fall quietly, but the resistance had to move carefully. The alien agents were everywhere, watching, waiting for a mistake. One night, during a daring raid on an alien communications hub, disaster struck. The team led by Jason, one of Maya's closest allies and the Resistance's best strategist, walked into a trap. The alien forces were ready for them, waiting in the shadows with weapons that glowed with deadly power. The battle was fierce and fast. The Resistance fighters fought bravely, but they were outnumbered and outgunned. Jason's team barely escaped, but Jason himself was captured. The news hit the Resistance like a hammer blow. Losing Jason was more than just losing a fighter. It was losing a symbol of hope and strength. Maya refused to believe he was gone forever. She vowed to rescue him, no matter the cost. But time was running out. The alien empire tightened security around their prisoners, using cruel methods to break the will of captives. As the Resistance mourned, the alien empire grew bolder. They launched new attacks on Resistance cells, hoping to crush the growing rebellion before it became too powerful. But every attack only made the Resistance stronger, fueled by anger and the desire for freedom. In the midst of this chaos, a mysterious message arrived. It was from one of the alien sympathizers, those secret factions who wanted to see humans rise. They offered critical information about the Empire's weaknesses and plans. This alliance was dangerous but necessary. Maya decided to trust the aliens who helped them, knowing that survival depended on unlikely partnerships. She planned a bold rescue mission for Jason, using the hybrid technology they had developed to infiltrate the alien prison facility deep beneath the planet's surface. The rescue mission was risky and full of unknown dangers. The resistance fighters prepared themselves for the worst, knowing that failure could mean the end of their struggle. But giving up was not an option. As Maya's team moved closer to the prison, they faced traps, alien patrols, and terrifying creatures engineered by the Empire to guard their secrets. Each step forward was a battle of wit and courage. Finally, they reached the holding cells. Jason was there, battered but alive. His eyes burned with a fire of defiance. The rescue was a success, but the cost was high. Several resistance members were lost, and the alarm had been raised. They had no time to celebrate. The alien Empire's forces closed in fast, determined to recapture Jason and destroy the resistance once and for all. The escape was chaotic. Maya and her team fought desperately, using every weapon and trick they had. The hybrid tech pulsed with power, turning the tide in their favor. They broke through enemy lines and disappeared into the underground tunnels just as the alien forces closed behind them. Back at the base, the resistance gathered. The loss of comrades weighed heavily, but Jason's return gave them new strength. Maya looked around at the tired, determined faces of her allies. They had suffered much, but their fight was far from over. The alien empire had made a mistake. They had awakened a force on Earth that would not be stopped. The resistance was no longer just a small group of fighters. It was a spark that could ignite a revolution. But danger lurked in every shadow. The Empire would strike again, stronger and more ruthless. Maya knew the battle ahead would test their limits. Yet, in her heart, she held a fierce hope that humanity could survive and rise. The war for Earth's future had truly begun. The artifact pulsed quietly beneath the Earth, its energy weaving to the planet like an unseen storm. For years, it had remained dormant, a silent force waiting for the right moment. Now that moment had come. The glow grew brighter, the hum louder, as the artifact awakened a power that no one could fully understand. Across the globe, subtle changes began to ripple through the human population. At first, they were easy to miss. A sharper sense of smell, a flicker of enhanced vision, a sudden burst of strength. People dismissed them as coincidences, small miracles, or strange dreams. But soon, the changes became impossible to ignore. Maya watched in awe and fear as her own team started showing signs of rapid evolution. Some could hear whispers from miles away. Others could move with impossible speed. And a few even began to manipulate objects without touching them. The human body was rewriting itself, adapting in ways no one had ever seen before. News spread quickly, but not everyone welcomed this transformation. Governments panicked, labeling the evolved as threats. Fear grew, and with fear came violence. Some of these new humans, called mutants by the media, were hunted, captured, or killed. Others were worshipped, seen as gods or monsters depending on who told the story. The resistance faced new challenges. The evolution brought power, but also brought division. Some evolved humans wanted to join Maya's fight against the alien empire, while others saw an opportunity to seize control for themselves. The lines between ally and enemy blurred. Maya felt the pressure mounting. She had always believed in unity, but now she had to manage a force that was as unpredictable as it was powerful. Her leadership was questioned, not just by her enemies, but by those within her own ranks. The surge was rewriting what it meant to be human, and the future was uncertain. In the midst of this chaos, rumors began to spread about a figure unlike any other, a human so evolved, so powerful, that even the aliens feared him. This being appeared suddenly in the Resistance's territory, challenging Maya's authority with words sharp as knives and power that shook the ground. The Resistance was divided. Some saw this new evolved human as a savior, others as a threat that could destroy everything they had built. Maya knew a confrontation was coming, and with it, decisions that could change the fate of Earth forever. The artifact's power was no longer just a gift. It was a storm unleashed, wild, dangerous, and unstoppable. The battle for control over this new evolution had begun, and at its center stood Maya, fighting not only for humanity's survival, but for the soul of what humanity was becoming. The grand chamber of the Galactic Council gleamed under the light of countless stars. Leaders from dozens of alien worlds gathered, their faces etched with worry and fear. Earth had become a problem none could ignore. The humans were evolving too fast, breaking the old rules that kept them contained and safe for the galaxy's order. Now, that order was crumbling. The Council's debates were heated and fierce. Some members argued Earth must be destroyed to prevent chaos from spreading. They saw humans as wild, dangerous creatures that could upset the delicate balance of power in the galaxy. Others pushed for containment. Believing humans could be locked away again, their evolution slowed or stopped. But a growing faction believed humans were a force to be reckoned with, a new power that could change the galaxy forever. The tension inside the Council was thick. Old alliances cracked as new ideas challenged tradition. Voices raised, threats exchanged, and accusations flew like meteor showers. At the heart of the debate was a question no one wanted to admit. Were humans a threat to be feared, or an opportunity to be embraced? Meanwhile, whispers of conspiracy spread through the corridors. Some members secretly contacted humans, offering aid or asking for help in their political games. Others plotted to seize power by using Earth's turmoil as a stepping stone. The Council was no longer united. It was a battlefield of political strife and betrayal. Amid this chaos, a sudden explosion rocked the Council chamber. Smoke filled the air, alarms blared, and panic swept through the delegates. A skilled assassin had struck, targeting one of the most powerful leaders known for advocating peace and cooperation with humans. The attack was swift, precise, and deadly. The aftermath was worse than anyone imagined. Fingers pointed, blame spread, and suspicion poisoned every corner. The Council was on the edge of collapse, and the threat of a full-scale intergalactic war hung heavy in the air. If the Council fell apart, the fragile balance of the galaxy could shatter forever. On Earth, Maya and her allies watched the news with growing dread. The fate of their world now depended not just on their own fight, but on battles waged far beyond the stars. The humans' future was caught between the ruthless politics of alien rulers, and the outcome was anything but certain. The galaxy held its breath. The next moves would decide if Earth would rise as a new power or be crushed under the weight of ancient fears and grudges. The stage was set for a conflict that would change everything. The sky cracked open with the roar of engines and the blinding flash of weapons fire. The rogue alien fleet appeared without warning, their ships like dark arrows piercing the atmosphere and darkening the sun. Across the planet, the air trembled with the sound of invasion. Earth was no longer a protected zone. It was a battlefield. Maya stood on the rooftop of a crumbling building, her eyes fixed on the horizon, where the alien warships descended like vultures. The city beneath her was in chaos. People ran through the streets, screaming, dodging falling debris, and trying to find shelter from the fiery storm. The air smelled of burning metal and ozone. Her resistance fighters gathered quickly around her, their faces tense but determined. They were a mix of humans and aliens, the sympathetic ones who had rejected the rogue faction's brutal ideals. These aliens had seen what humanity was becoming, and some of them believed in the chance for a new future. Now they stood together, fighting side by side. Maya raised her hand to signal the start of the counterattack. We fight for Earth. We fight for our future. We fight for every life that wants to live free. Her voice echoed through the ranks, and the fighters charged into fray, moving with a strange mixture of hope and desperation. The alien warships opened fire, releasing beams of deadly energy that carved through buildings and scorched the earth. But the resistance was ready. They used hybrid weapons, a combination of human creativity and alien technology. Energy shields flared up, blocking blasts. Fighters leapt from cover to cover, striking back with pulse rifles and plasma grenades. The battle was brutal. Every street became a battleground, every rooftop a sniper's nest. The resistance fought fiercely, but were outnumbered. The rogue aliens had come prepared to crush the human evolution they feared, to erase it before it could threaten their control. In the midst of the fight, Maya's communications device buzzed urgently. Rian, her lead scientist, was calling from the hidden research bunker beneath the city. She ducked behind a shattered wall and answered quickly. "Maya, it's happening," Rian said, his voice strained but filled with awe. "The artifact. It's reacting to the battle. Its power is waking up." Maya's heart skipped a beat. The artifact had always been a mystery, a source of the rapid evolution that had changed humanity. They had hoped to use its power to fight back, but no one truly understood its full nature. "What do you mean, waking up?" she asked. "There's an energy surge. The whole planet is trembling. The artifact's power is not just evolution. It's something much bigger. It could change everything or destroy it." Maya swallowed hard. She knew that if the artifact's power was truly awakening, the war they were fighting was only just beginning. She signaled to her squad, "We need to protect Rian and the artifact chamber. Without it, we have no chance." The team moved swiftly through the war-torn city, dodging alien patrols and explosive traps. The streets were a nightmare. Fires burned uncontrolled. Buildings collapsed and cries of pain echoed everywhere. When they reached the underground bunker, they found Rian and his team working frantically. The walls vibrated with energy. Strange lights pulsed in the artifact's core, and the air was thick with a crackling charge. Suddenly, a deafening explosion shook the chamber. The rogue aliens had found them. "We have to defend this place," Maya shouted, drawing her weapon. The resistance fighters formed a perimeter, fighting off wave after wave of attackers. The battle was close, brutal, and chaotic. The alien invaders used cloaking devices and deadly blades, slipping through shadows to strike without warning. But the resistance was fierce. Every time an attacker fell, another took their place. Maya fought like a lioness, her mind focused on protecting the artifact and her people. Amid the fighting, the artifact's energy flared wildly. It sent waves of power through the room. Some of the resistance fighters suddenly felt strength surge through their veins, their senses sharpening beyond human limits. Others were thrown back, their bodies overwhelmed by the raw force. Rian called out urgently, "The artifact is choosing. It's giving power, but it's unstable." Maya clenched her fists, feeling the heat of the power around her. "Use the power wisely. We need every advantage we can get." The battle outside raged louder, and the ground shook with the footsteps of marching alien armies. The artifact pulsed again, and a strange hum filled the air. The ancient power was awakening, but with it came danger. A massive shockwave exploded for the artifact, knocking everyone off their feet. When Maya looked up, the room had changed. The walls glowed with symbols she had never seen before, and the air shimmered with an eerie light. "This is no ordinary artifact," Rian said breathlessly. "It's alive," or something like it. "It's responding to the threat, to the invasion." Maya's mind raced. The artifact's true power was more than evolution. It was a force that could reshape worlds, control life itself. If it fell into the wrong hands, it could mean the end of everything. The resistance fighters regrouped, but the alien forces were relentless. They pushed closer to the artifact chamber, their weapons blazing. Maya raised her voice, rallying her team. "Hold the line. Protect the artifact at all costs. This is our last chance." The fight was desperate. The rogue aliens used everything they had: energy blades, plasma cannons, and psychic assaults. But the resistance held strong, fighting with a mixture of fear and hope. In the midst of the chaos, Maya felt a sudden surge of power from the artifact. Her body tingled, her senses heightened. She saw the battlefield in sharp detail. Enemy movements, weak points in their formation, and hidden dangers. Using this new awareness, she led a counterattack that pushed the aliens back. The resistance fighters followed her lead, striking with precision and fury. But just as victory seemed within reach, the artifact pulsed violently once more. The ground trembled, and a blinding light filled the chamber. Maya shielded her eyes, and when she looked again, she saw something impossible. A figure made of pure energy rising from the artifact. It was neither human nor alien, but something beyond both. The figure's voice echoed in her mind, a mix of warning and command. "The evolution you seek is not yours to claim. The power you wield must be balanced, or all will be lost." Maya felt a chill. This was the true awakening of the artifact's power, a force that could bring salvation or destruction. The battle for Earth was far from over. Outside, the alien warships faltered, their weapon systems disrupted by the artifact's energy. The rogue factions' advance slowed, giving the resistance a chance to regroup. But the ancient power had changed everything. It was no longer just a fight between humans and aliens. It was a struggle for the soul of the planet itself. Maya looked at her allies, her resolve hardening. We fight not just for survival, but for the future of all life. The artifact's glow pulsed behind her, a constant reminder that their greatest challenge was just beginning. As the sun finally broke through the darkened sky, a new dawn rose, but with it came the promise of a storm unlike any the galaxy had ever seen. The artifact's glow dimmed slowly, but the energy it left behind lingered in the air like a faint hum of a forgotten song. Maya stood before it in the quiet chamber, her mind racing. She had seen the power it held, power unlike anything humanity had ever encountered. But now, more questions rose in her heart. Who had created this strange relic? Why had it been left on Earth? And what was its true purpose? She turned to Rian and his team of scientists, their faces pale but determined. They had been working nonstop since the artifact's awakening, trying to decode the symbols and strange energy patterns radiating from the relic. This artifact is not just an object, Rian said, voice filled with awe. It's a key to understanding who we really are. Maya nodded, gripping the edges of the stone pedestal, holding the artifact. Then we must find out its secret. Whatever it is, it could change everything. The team gathered around the holographic interface they had set up, projecting the intricate patterns the artifact emitted. The symbols began to shift and rearrange themselves into images. Stars, galaxies, and strange creatures unlike any known species. It was like a cosmic map, but more complex and alive. Suddenly, a hidden compartment in the artifact clicked open, revealing a small crystalline cube. It pulsed softly, its light steady and calm. Rian carefully reached out to touch it, and as his fingers made contact, a holographic message burst forth, filling the room with shimmering light. The voice that spoke was neither male nor female. It was ancient, wise, and full of sorrow. To those who find this message, know this. We are the Elderly, a race that once walked the stars before fading into legend. We seeded life across the cosmos, planting the spark of evolution on countless worlds. Earth was one of our greatest works. Maya's breath caught. The Elderly, they created us? The message continued. Humans are our legacy, the culmination of eons of genetic crafting and cosmic guidance. You were meant to surpass all others, to become the guardians of balance in the universe. A hush fell over the room. The truth was more incredible than any of them had imagined. Humans were not just a random species. They were part of an ancient plan, a plan that had now come to a crossroads. But with great power comes great peril, the voice warned. The artifact was given to protect and guide. It was hidden away when the Elderly vanished, for dark forces sought to corrupt it. Beware the coming shadow, a cosmic catastrophe that will test all life. Maya's eyes narrowed. What kind of catastrophe? The holographic image shifted to show a massive black storm, swirling with chaotic energy, engulfing star systems and devouring light. A dark wave approaches, a force that destroys life and unravels creation itself. Your evolution must be ready. You must stand as the last defense. Rian looked at Maya, voice trembling. This changes everything. We are not just fighting aliens. We are fighting for the survival of all life in the universe. Maya clenched her fists, feeling the weight of the message pressing down on her shoulders. The peaceful planet Earth had become a battleground for cosmic forces far beyond human understanding. We need to prepare, she said firmly. This artifact isn't just a weapon. It's a guide, a map to our destiny. As the team continued studying the artifact, Maya's mind wandered to the resistance fighters still battling outside. They were fighting to protect Earth now, but soon they might have to defend the entire galaxy. Her thoughts were interrupted by a sudden alert on the communication system. The alien fleet was regrouping. The rogue faction refused to give up their attack. They must have learned about the artifact's awakening and the message it carried. Maya turned to Rian. We have to move fast. If the artifact's secret is out, we'll face even greater enemies. Rian nodded. I'm working on unlocking more of its power, but the energy it radiates is unlike anything we've seen. It's alive in a way. The team's devices beeped wildly as new data streamed in. Strange fluctuations in the atmosphere, bursts of energy erupting in distant parts of the planet. The artifact's power was spreading. Suddenly, Maya felt a sharp pain in her head, a sudden vision. She saw stars collapsing, worlds burning, and shadowy shapes moving through the darkness of space. The vision was terrifying, but it ended with a beacon of light. Humans standing strong, united, glowing with the power of the artifact. She gasped, catching her breath. This is what we must become. We must rise. The others looked at her with wide eyes, sensing the importance of what she had seen. Outside, the city trembled again as alien forces clashed with resistance fighters. The air was thick with smoke, and the sky burned with streaks of fire. Maya stepped forward, her resolve hardening. We will protect this world, no matter the cost. The Eldari entrusted us with this power for a reason. We are their legacy, and we will not fail. Rian smiled faintly. Then let's unlock the rest of the artifact's secrets. The fate of many depends on it. Together, they returned to their work, the glowing artifact illuminating the dark chamber. The message was clear. Humans were not alone, not random. They were the hope of a vanished race, carrying the weight of the stars in their veins. But the warning lingered like a shadow. A cosmic catastrophe was coming, and Earth was at its center. Maya looked out toward the horizon, where the sun was setting behind a sky still scarred by war. We have little time. The real battle is just beginning. As night fell, the artifact pulsed once more, a silent call echoing to the universe, waiting for the chosen to answer. The skies above her darkened with an unnatural hue, swirling colors that no human eye had ever seen before. The stars seemed to shiver and fade, as if the cosmos itself was holding its breath. Far beyond the atmosphere, the cosmic storm loomed, a vast wave of destructive energy, stretching across light years, moving fast toward the solar system. This was no ordinary space weather. This was the dark force the Eldari had warned about. It was coming to destroy everything. In the underground resistance base, Maya stood before the artifact, now glowing brighter than ever. Its power surged through the room, pulsing like a heartbeat that matched the planet's own. Around her, the scientists and fighters moved quickly, preparing for what could be the final battle for Earth, and perhaps all life in the galaxy. "We don't have much time," Maya said, her voice steady but filled with urgency. "The storm will hit within hours. We need to unlock the full power of the artifact, or everything we've fought for will be lost." Rian, the lead scientist, nodded, wiping sweat from his brow. "The artifact responds to will and purpose. If we can channel human consciousness as one, maybe we can awaken its true strength." Maya's eyes flickered with determination. "Then that's what we'll do. Every human, every alien who stands with us, we unite or we perish." Outside, the skies twisted violently as the first shock waves from the cosmic storm hit Earth's magnetic field. Cities lost power. Communications flickered, and strange, eerie lights danced across the horizon. The alien invaders who had fought so hard to suppress human evolution suddenly found themselves facing a greater threat. Some began to see that the storm would destroy them all if they continued fighting. In a secret meeting, Maya negotiated with the sympathetic alien factions. "We must work together. Our fight isn't with each other anymore. It's with the storm. Help us use the artifact. Help us survive." The alien leader, a tall figure with shimmering silver skin, nodded gravely. "Our species has lived through cosmic disasters before. We will stand with you." As humans and aliens joined forces, the resistance broadcasted a global call for unity. People from all corners of the world, evolved humans and ordinary citizens alike, tuned in to hear Maya's message. We face a darkness beyond any enemy we've known. But inside each of us is a spark. The spark of the Eldari, the spark of life itself. We will fight not as separate races, but as one. In cities and villages, underground bunkers, and open fields, people began to meditate, focus, and channel their thoughts. The artifact, responding to the collective human-alien consciousness, started to glow with a blinding light. It sent waves of energy rippling across the globe, awakening dormant powers in people everywhere. Eyes glowed with strange colors, minds touched unseen realms. But the storm was relentless. It swallowed satellites, pushed planets in their orbits, and sent solar flares that scorched the skies. The Earth shook violently as tectonic plates shifted. Oceans roared with fury. In the midst of chaos, Maya led a team on a desperate mission to the artifact's origin site, a hidden cavern beneath Earth's crust, where the relic's power was strongest. The path was treacherous, filled with alien traps, and natural disasters worsened by the storm. Yet, every step forward was a step toward hope. As they reached the cavern, the artifact's light bathed the walls in an otherworldly glow. The team gathered around, hands joined, hearts pounding in unison. "Focus," Maya said. "We must become the artifact's guardians, its source of strength." Energy flowed from their minds into the artifact, and it responded by projecting a map, not just of space, but of time itself. They saw glimpses of the past, the elder receding life, and the future, a galaxy bathed in light or swallowed by darkness, depending on their choices. Suddenly, the cavern trembled. A crack opened in the floor, and from the depths emerged a colossal figure made of shimmering light and shadow. It was neither fully alive nor dead, an ancient cosmic entity awakened by the artifact's power. Maya gasped, "The Eldery Guardian, it's real!" The entity's voice echoed inside their minds, calm yet powerful. "I have watched over this legacy for eons. The storm threatens to unravel creation, but there is still time. You must unite your strength and face what comes with courage." The team stared in awe as the entity reached out a hand, touching the artifact. The relic surged, emitting waves of energy that stabilized the storm temporarily. But the entity warned, "This calm is brief. The storm feeds on fear and division. Only by standing united can you survive what lies ahead." Maya felt the weight of the Cosmic Guardian's words sink deep. They had a chance, but only if they truly came together. Outside, the storm raged on, now striking with renewed fury. The alliance between humans and aliens was their last hope, a fragile light against the growing darkness. Maya looked at her team, her voice firm. "We fight for our future, for every life in the galaxy. This is not just Earth's battle. It's the battle for all existence." The cosmic entity's light enveloped the artifact, sending a pulse across space and time, a call to all who would answer. And in the distance, beyond the storm's edge, new stars began to flicker, as if the universe itself was holding on for the final fight. The fate of everything rested on a knife's edge, and the real war was just beginning. The skies above Earth were no longer darkened by cosmic storms. The fierce battle against the ancient cosmic entity and the devastating storm had passed, leaving the planet battered but alive. Cities lay in ruins, forests scarred by energy blasts, oceans still churned with restless waves. Yet amidst the destruction, a new light flickered, the dawn of a changed humanity. Maya stood on a high cliff overlooking the vast ocean, feeling the warm breeze on her face. The artifact, now calm and silent, rested in a secure chamber deep beneath the surface. Its power had saved them, but it had also changed everything. Around the world, humans were no longer the fragile species the aliens once thought them to be. They had evolved, not just physically, but mentally and spiritually. People moved with purpose and confidence, their eyes shining with a quiet strength. The abilities that had once frightened some were now embraced as gifts. Intelligence, empathy, resilience, all heightened to new levels. The alien allies who had once watched her from afar now approached openly. Ambassadors arrived from distant stars, offering cooperation instead of control. The Galactic Council, once hostile or indifferent, began to see Earth as a vital partner, not a threat. In the heart of the new United Earth Council, Maya addressed representatives from hundreds of worlds. Her voice was steady, filled with the weight of her journey. "We have faced extinction and risen from the ashes," she said. "Earth was once a protected zone, locked away from the universe to keep others safe from our potential. But now, we are not a danger to be feared or controlled. We are pioneers of a new era, guardians of peace and explorers of the unknown." She paused, scanning the diverse faces before her. Some were humanoid, others strange and beautiful beyond imagination, yet all listened with respect. "The cost was high," Maya continued softly. "We lost many, friends, families, parts of ourselves. But from that pain came growth. We learned that strength is not just power, but unity. That true evolution means rising above fear and hatred." Outside the hall, the city thrived with new energy. Buildings glowed softly with alien and human technology combined. Transportation hummed quietly above ground, connecting continents and planets. Children played in parks where trees whispered ancient songs, gifts from the Elderly's legacy. Maya's thoughts drifted to the artifact, the relic that had sparked this transformation. It was no longer just a tool or a weapon. It was a symbol of what humanity could become. Back in her private quarters, Maya examined a hollow recording of the final battle. The flashes of light, the desperate calls, the moment the cosmic entity had spoken to her. Its words echoed in her mind. Stand united or all will fall. She smiled softly, feeling the truth in those words. The storm was gone, but the real challenge was ahead. How to build a future worthy of the gift they had received. A knock at the door brought her back. It was Rian, the scientist who had stood beside her through every trial. Plans are moving forward, he said. The council wants to establish a training academy for humans and aliens, to share knowledge and prepare for whatever comes next. Maya nodded. Good. We must be ready. The galaxy is vast, and not all will welcome us with open arms. Rian hesitated, then added, but many will want to learn from us. Your leadership has changed everything. Maya looked out the window at the horizon, where the first light of dawn painted the sky. A new day was beginning, one without fear or chains. Earth was once a protected zone, she said quietly. Now it protects a galaxy. The future was uncertain, but it was theirs to shape. And for the first time in a long time, hope burned brighter than any star.